Let's learn how to set up the Pokemon TCG. The very first thing to do is flip a coin. The winner gets to decide who goes first. Then, it's time to set up the game. Your deck is placed face down here. Every deck should start with exactly 60 cards in it. Make sure to shuffle your deck before you start a game. Each player draws 7 cards from their deck at the beginning of the game. This is your hand. You always start your turn by drawing 1 card from your deck into your hand. This is where your active Pokemon goes. This is the only Pokemon on your side that can attack on your turn. At the beginning of the game, place a basic Pokemon from your hand in the active spot. If you don't have a basic Pokemon, shuffle your hand back into your deck and try again. Your opponent gets an additional card at the beginning of the game each time you have to reshuffle to find a basic Pokemon to play. Look at the corner of your Pokemon cards to make sure you play a basic Pokemon to start the game. This is your bench, where you can have up to 5 other Pokemon waiting for their turn to battle. You may put additional basic Pokemon from your hand onto your bench when starting the game or during your turn. Double-check the corner of your Pokemon cards to make sure any Pokemon you play on your bench is a basic Pokemon. If your active Pokemon is knocked out, you need to choose a new one from your bench to battle. Make sure to keep Pokemon on your bench, because you'll lose the game if you don't have any more Pokemon left to battle. Each player also has a discard pile. Cards taken out of play, like a knocked out Pokemon, and all the cards attached to it, typically go to your discard pile. Before you start playing, you also need to put the top 6 cards of your deck off to the side, face down. These are your prize cards. Every time you knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon, you get to take one of the prize cards placed here from your deck as a reward. Remember, if you take all 6 of your prize cards, you win the game. When you're setting up the game, your active and benched Pokemon are played face down. Once you're ready to begin, turn your active and benched Pokemon face up and start battling. The player who goes first draws a card and goes through the steps of the turn. Note that the player who goes first cannot attack or play a supporter card on their first turn. After the first player is finished, player 2 draws a card to start their turn. From here on out, both players can play supporter cards and attack as normal.